Well, this is something interesting I picked up on eBay. This is the Neo Geo X Gold Limited Edition. Neo Geo was a console back in the early 90s which made some really nice arcade games, and they ported it to a console called the AES. Um, as good as a console it was, I don't think people were willing to spend $700 for a console even back in the early 90s. That's insane. Don't worry, I didn't pay $700 for this, but it was still pretty expensive. I actually picked this up for quite a steal, as the guy tried to cause a bidding war by giving it a pretty much low price. Usually these consoles at lowest go for $200. This was $100 US, but then after customs and the fact that the Canadian dollar sucks ass right now, meant that I paid much more than just $100. But still, let's take a look at this console, or box. I don't even know what it is. Let's look at the back at least. So what you get is a handheld system, which is really what I wanted this system for. Just a nice handheld that I could play and some old games and possibly hack. I'll show you guys how to do that in a later video when I get all the equipment ready. Anyway, so yeah, you get the handheld, you get like a docking station where you can put wires into it and hook it up to your television or computer. It comes with composite cables or an HDMI cables, and I heard the quality of those. We'll talk more about that. So yeah, and the oversized control stick, which was, believe it or not, the actual control stick of the old Neo Geo. Comes preloaded with 20 classic games from Neo Geo. So the company that makes Neo Geo, or created Neo Geo, was called SNK, but this is licensed by SNK. It wasn't made by SNK. They gave permission to a company called Tomo to create sort of like a recreation of the Neo Geo console, just to bring it out to the market, only because SNK is, well, pretty low on funds. Yeah, they filed for bankruptcy in the early 2000s, I believe, and are barely holding by a thread, but at least they're still around to bring us this. Now, it isn't quite what it seems. I'll get to the unboxing right now, just give me a second, I'll explain more into it. So once you start opening the box, you find that I got ripped off from eBay, just kidding. So it does come with two separate boxes, one holding the handheld and one holding the console and the controller or whatever. As you can see, it's already been pre-opened because I did get it from a private seller on eBay. I didn't get it from a company that had the old system in stock. Opens like this. There you go. Neo Geo X Gold. Pretty neat. So yeah, I got it from a private seller off eBay because he was giving me a good price for it. Only because he misspelled the name of the freaking console on the listing. He put Neo Geo as one word and nobody bid, so I just happened to get lucky and mistyped it myself and found his listing. So yeah. So yes, I believe the handheld and docking station are in this one pack, and that's everything, as well as the HDMI cable. And in the second box comes your other cables and the actual docking station, which is, here you go. So it comes with the actual docking station. I'm just going to leave the wrapping on it. Feels pretty light. The plastic feels like plastic. Trademark traditional clicky controller. Composite cables for hooking it up to an old television for an authentic home video experience, and a charging cable. There you go. I'll just leave that there. It doesn't really charge in the sense that if you want to hook it up to the actual home console, you would have to hook it up to the handheld device. Nope, you have to plug in the device into the actual docking station, hook up the charger to the actual docking station, and then charge it up. Well, isn't that inconvenient? So, yeah, well, let's look at the handheld itself. So, as I said, this device was previously opened and reviewed, and the seller was kind enough to actually include a screen protector on my unit. That's very nice. He kind of messed up. There's always a friggin' dust thing anyway. Yep, reflective screen, really nice, really loud controller. All the buttons feel alright. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's pretty much got a perfect weight ratio. So yeah, got your start menu, all the ports, all the buttons. Kind of looks like an iPhone casing in a way. It's not made of metal or glass, but it just looks like, you know, the design of the iPhone. It's actually really cool. I always like the design of the iPhones, the way the casing works. You get the metal and the outer two pieces. Let's turn it on. Turns on pretty quickly. You get the Neo Geo logo twice. Let's leave it up here. And the silent Neo Geo opening. So 3 Neo Geo logos before you get to the main menu. Now this is where, if you had a game card. Oh, speaking of game cards, where is Ninja Masters? Oh, there it is. Hooray! Ninja Masters. Okay. So yeah, just a bland, kind of jerky, but who cares? Yeah, the screen quality isn't top notch, but you know what? For, you know, if you're playing classic games, you're not looking for HD quality gaming anyway. I mean, most of these games barely ran at 320p even. The viewing angle isn't that great when you look at it, but then again, nobody plays games like this unless you're playing a Game Boy Color and trying to aim the screen to the nearest source of light just so you can bloody see. But yeah, overall the quality does feel pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel over the top, overpriced. It doesn't feel like it has all these overpriced stuff on it like you would on an iPhone or any modern smartphone. It has like a rubber backing. I wish every handheld console had this. It makes, you know, gripping it while playing feel really comfortable. Headphones, brightness, volume, all that fun stuff. I really like how there's an HDMI. This is a really, really nice design for a console. The screen's not too big. It is a little bit bigger than what I thought it would be, but you know what? It feels really perfect. Like, this should be the size of most handheld consoles, because still you can put it in your pocket. Unlike the Vita, you really, PS Vita or 3DS, like 3DS you can, but when you get the 3DS XL, the Vita, it doesn't really feel pocket friendly. Even the old PSP, that thing was way too long for my pockets. This feels just right. Now, if the screen was any better, and it could play modern games, then, well, but then again, this isn't competing to those like the 3DS and Vita, so I'm not going to be nitpicking every little thing about this console like everybody else who reviews this system. I like it, honestly. And the best part is, people who have figured out how to hack the actual SD card of the system can run emulated games of other systems like NES and other Neo Geo games and Genesis and Game Boy, which is another reason why I picked this up. Once I figure out how to hack it, play all my games, and honestly, I'll be cooped up in my room for a better period of my life after that, when I figure that out. Battery life, can't really say. I just turned it on, really. This clicking controller might be an issue if you plan on playing this thing in public or in a bus. You might, if you live in a not so good area, you might find yourself with stab marks for annoying people on the bus with this. This is pretty loud, I have to say. Like, it does feel good, but if you plan on playing it in a quiet area or in the dead of night and everyone else is sleeping, this doesn't seem subtle. So yeah, Magician Lord, some football game. I'm gonna get so much hate for not knowing my stuff about Neo Geo. I mean, of course I know about Metal Slug and Last Resort. Everyone plays Last Resort. I'm gonna play this one. Yeah, when they always demo this console, they always play Last Resort. Neo Geo. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad when it's stretched out, but then again, I'm not used to... Let's see, 4x3, you press R2 or L2, sorry. Ooh. In the year 20XX. Oh, I guess. Mutation Nation. Oh, I really love the 2D animation. That's why my favorite things about the Neo Geo. Okay, so instead of playing, I'm just going to show you stock gameplay footage. Yeah, Neo Geo was really big into fighting games. If you love fighting games, then Neo Geo is definitely for you. Of course, I'm the highest score. Overall, I think this is pretty cool. I think I will have fun with this. It depends if you're willing to spend upwards of around $200 for the system, because they don't make it anymore, obviously. SMK and Tomo got into a legal battle. Let's just get back to. Oh yeah, it's not a touchscreen, by the way. So there we go. Yeah, it's not a touchscreen, by the way, so don't expect any touch controls or anything there. But yeah. Oh yeah, I did forget to. I don't know if I forgot to mention. Yeah, he did include a screen protector, so it's not like, you know, it's a screen separated by these two. No, it's one big glass unit. The previous owner was kind enough to put a screen protector, so now I feel like I can play this without having to worry about damaging the unit where it counts the most. I'm really happy about this. So yeah, pretty much the only way to get this system nowadays. They used to be able to sell it at Best Buys and GameStops and all that, but then SNK demanded Tomo to pull it off the market because the system wasn't what they expected. All the games were emulated, and it really pissed off the Neo Geo hardcore market, which this was trying to get at. But now it's become a serious collectible because they've pulled all the shipments off the shelves. And if you were lucky enough to pick it up $100 right off the shelf when they were clearing them out, well, screw you. I have to pay a lot more than that, but it's worth it. Like, I did pay under $200, which is what the minimum is for this. I mean, it's not like it's not like you can only buy the handheld. You have to buy this whole friggin' collector's edition gimmicky stuff, which the controller and a docking station that I'll only use for charging, which is annoying because I really only wanted the handheld. But that's my conclusion. I really look forward to playing this. If you do plan on picking it up, if you really want to spend the $200, go ahead. But if you want to spend less than that, then try eBay hunting for a while, because it did take me a while to find one for a decent price that I was willing to pick it up for. Just be careful and make sure you type out every single possible version of Neo Geo. 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, whatever. Because you might find some guy who's trying to start a bidding war and winds up misspelling the name like the guy I got it from. So I guess that's everything you need to know about the Neo Geo X Gold. Underrated in my opinion. I think it's a fantastic system, especially when you figure out the means of hacking it, putting an SD card loaded with emulators, and just having the time of your life with it. Alright, hope to see you guys soon. Please subscribe for more videos, and as always,